two of you together just before another show that's coming up. Give me a little bit of information on it here.
Well, we're here at Sun and Fun 2010, Dave, and we're talking to Chris Collins here. He's the airport manager of the Mount Vernon, Illinois airport, where a very interesting thing goes on. It's the Midwest LSA Expo. Chris, tell us how it went last year and what you got going for 2010.
Well, we were very excited last year. We had approximately 42 airplanes on display and about 30 exhibitors in our exhibitor hall, and we had a really good crop of interested persons that were interested in buying or at least shopping for airplanes. So all the exhibitors were really happy that those that came were serious. And it's really interesting walking around talking to the exhibitors and hearing the stories of, you know, the show was what, 6 months ago, and you're just now hearing that, hey, I closed some sales from your show.
It takes a little while.
Yeah, so we're really excited about being back. And then probably what's really exciting to me is the system is working that we put in, whereas someone would maybe shop at Sebring, shop again at Oshkosh, maybe buy at our place, or start the process at our place and close the deal at Sebring or here. And that is happening. I'm finding that out when I'm talking to the exhibitors.
And we had a lot of people in talking that I did where they were glad that this had the show because there was nothing going on in that area, and they were so excited that the ultralight or the Lightsport were coming to the Midwest.
Well, not only that area geographically within the U.S., which also had that vacuum you just referenced, but also that time of year. October's kind of a, oh, well, I guess the season's over until Sebring, what happens or whatever. So, but you just mentioned an interesting thing. There's kind of a continuum. People look at one show and another show and another show, and they, you know, these are not inexpensive airplanes, so it takes a while to make that decision, arrange financing, whatever, sell your old airplane. So, you know, if there's a continuous flow of places where you can see and get re-energized and hear new information, evidently that helps stimulate. And so now Mount Vernon in the Midwest LSA Expo is part of that. And very exciting that in 1 year you've already planted yourself that well. Tell me what you just said about who's coming again for 2010. Already he knows this.
Well, we've been kind of talking to the exhibitors. That was the mission here, and as well as Sebring, is to, you know, keep the relationship going. It is a small world, small industry, and everyone knows each other. And so we're keeping the relationship going. And kind of my intent was to talk to the ones that maybe weren't Midwest last year or on the fence and try to get them signed on, as well as trying to get bigger presences from the bigger ones. And
the big guys get bigger, and
yeah,
with their space, I mean.
With their space.
Maybe also with their sales, but at least with their space.
Right. You know, you go to the shows like this one or Oshkosh and see the big tents, and we want to try to have some kind of presence like that at the Midwest. And so, obviously, the folks that I came here to talk to are real excited about coming to the Midwest again, and I think it's going to be a really nice show again.
So let's talk about a couple things that people need to know when they watch this. What are the dates for 2010, and give us a geographical orientation maybe from St. Louis or some other reference.
Okay, the dates are September 23rd through the 25th. We moved the show forward 1 week just to get away from that October time frame. People were kind of a little bit scared about
Thought it might be getting kind of wintry.
Yeah, October in Illinois. Well, we're in southern part of Illinois, and our geographic market is St. Louis, Louisville, Kentucky, Memphis, Nashville, obviously Chicago, Kansas City, Milwaukee, and Indianapolis and Ohio is the drawing points that are within 300 miles car by driving.
Yeah, and so that's car. That's not too far for a decent show. I mean, lots of folks drive all the way across country to Oshkosh or this show, so that's not bad at all. But also then for flying, that's a huge population base of an hour, 2 hour flight at the most for an awful lot of people. So that's great.
And I wanted to also, I'm sorry, Dave.
Great accommodations too. I mean, the airport is just a fantastic airport. But I mean, we were able to eat and sleep and everything basically within a mile or two of the airport.
Yeah, it was real close. Just zip into town. There were a lot of choices, and they weren't all booked up, and so there was plenty of availability at reasonable prices. People were care about that too, of course. So.
All right. The thing I was going to make, the point I was going to make is we shuttle people from the hotels to the airport. So if you fly your 172 from wherever,
very important.
We shuttle you to our hotel area, which is about 3 miles from the airport, and bring you back, so you don't have to worry about ground travel. And everyone loved that last year.
Yeah, save a rental car. There's $100 or so less, and that's great.
And we try to make it convenient and affordable.
A lot of it has to do with customer service, and I was really impressed, man. When people asked for things, I heard vendors say, "Hey, how about can I have this or that?" Man, Chris is on it and getting it for them, and really good stuff. And you had a crack bunch of volunteers. Hard to put all that together. Most people have no concept for how hard it is, and how many details there are, and how much planning and money and other things it takes to put on one of these.
But the biggest thing that I noticed was the friendliness.
Friendliness is a key, yes.
When I go to this is a nice show, and Oscars, but when we went to that show, it was if we were just part of it.
You felt welcome, didn't you?
Felt welcome. That was the difference that we found.
So good job, Chris.
Well, thank you,
Best
sir.
of luck for 2010 and beyond.
Thank you, Dan.
All right.
Appreciate it.
I need some websites, guys.
Some websites. Where can they find out some information? What's your website?
MidwestLSAShow.com. Everything's on there. It's a great website.
MidwestLSAShow.com.
Subscribe to the Lightsport and Ultralight Flyer web video magazine with hundreds and hundreds of videos now online, including airshow coverage, Rotax engine tech tips, Rotax 377, 447, 503, 532, and 582 engine rebuilding videos, each 2 hours in length, propeller maintenance, advisories and repairs, BRS parachute saves, Bing carb updates, and much, much more. Get a yearly subscription at www.ultralightflyer.com.